Hi guys, welcome back to another video, and today I'll be taking a look at the latest additions from Moza Racing that's aimed at the mid-range sim racing market, competing directly against Fanatec CSL DD and DD Pro. And price wise, it comes in at a similar level to Fanatec's offerings, making this a real alternative. So I'll be taking a look at the CS Wheel, SRP Pedals and CM Digital Dash, which I'll be testing out on their direct drive wheelbase, the R9. I'll take you through the main features and what it feels like, together with how well it performs. But before I begin, let me know in the comments what you're currently racing with, a wheel or controller. And if you're new to the channel, hope you can support me by subscribing and hitting the bell icon to get notified of my next release. Let's begin by unboxing and taking a look at the CS Wheel. In the packaging you get a user manual, a bag containing an Allen key, some fixtures and a sticky pad, some stickers that highlight different functionality which you can place around the controls of the wheel, and finally the wheel. It's a standard racing rim which is 13 inches in diameter, wrapped in microfiber leather. You can see the stitching on the inner part of the wheel. It's made from an aviation grade aluminium alloy frame, giving excellent rigidity. There's an RGB rev indicator at the top of the wheel. It has 6 programmable mechanical buttons with tactile feedback, together with 2 pressable joysticks and 2 rotary dials with 20 segments. Customization is possible via the Moza app on your PC or on your phone, which I'll show later. The buttons and dials are placed pretty well, so everything is at close reach when driving. The wheel has a good comfortable feel to it, with a silvery white center marker at the top. It's slightly indented at the sides, at the locations where you'd be holding it. Coming around the back, you've got the quick release mechanism with a metallic black collar, allowing you to swap wheels in and out in seconds. Then we have the paddle shifters made out of forged carbon fiber. They're both magnetic, providing quick and precise shifting, and have a nice tactile sound to them. Price wise, the wheel is nearly 45% cheaper than their other wheels currently on the market, coming in at $279, but nevertheless it still has a really good quality feel, together with a weighty feel to it, but it doesn't feel like they've cut back on quality, so I'm really impressed. Moving on to the SRP pedals, which consists of 2 pedals, the accelerator and brake pedal. There's also an optional clutch pedal if you're after that as part of your racing experience, which can be bought separately. Let's initially open up the SRP pedals. In the packaging you get a user manual, some Moza stickers, a pedal mounting plate, a USB-A to USB-B cable, a bag containing some Allen keys, a wrench, a selection of screws and some cable management clips. Then we have the brake pedal and finally the accelerator pedal. Next onto the clutch pedal packaging, and in this you just get the clutch pedal and nothing else. Looking at each of the pedals, they're made from high strength steel, finished in matte black, and have an excellent build quality on each one. The accelerator is spring loaded, which has a nice, smooth, consistent feel to it, with a large foot plate. You've got a number of connection points at either side, allowing you to connect the clutch and brake on the left hand side, and on the right hand side you have the USB connection point where you'd plug the other end into your PC. And next you get a throttle input where you'd plug in the RJ12 cable that's coming off the pedal. And it's strange they don't have that connection built in and hidden away, so you don't have to do it. Next we have the brake pedal, which features a 75 kilogram high precision load cell and a 16-bit angle sensor, which does feel good. There's a spring and rubber damping block where the spring provides enough travel in the front and the damping block provides enough damping in the rear without being crushed. You have 2 RJ12 cables. There's one for the load cell and the other for the angle sensor. Both of these are plugged into the specific connection points on the side of the accelerator. And finally the clutch pedal, which is spring loaded and has a smooth, consistent feel to it, with an RJ12 cable that has to be plugged in to the side of the accelerator. All the pedals are adjustable, enabling you to change the height and position of the individual pedals. Setting up the pedals is easy. Connect up all the RJ12 cables to the connection points on the accelerator, then take the mounting plate, remove the rubber seals from the sides and line up the pedals to your preferred position, and then screw down with the screws given in the packaging using the Allen key provided. And that's it, as simple as that. Now onto the CM Digital Dash. In the packaging you get a user manual, the dash screen, a mounting arm, 2 turn knob screws and a bag containing some sticky pads, some screws and an Allen key. Taking a closer look, the screen has a 5-inch display, supports 16.7 million colors and a 800 by 480 resolution with a 60 Hz refresh rate, and it's all encased in plastic. You have 2 screw holes at the back and an RJ12 cable. The display sits on top of the wheelbase with a mounting arm and is used to show different telemetry data which can be configured through the Moza Pithouse software, which I'll show later. But just to note, it's only supported on certain games. So I'll be testing out the wheel, pedals and CM dash on the Moza R9 direct drive wheelbase, which I previously reviewed, and if you wanted to see that review, I'll include a card in the corner and a link in the description. But essentially, the way this works is that the direct drive wheelbase provides all the force feedback details that's passed directly onto the wheel, giving the best racing experience compared to a belt or gear driven system. And it's capable of giving a maximum torque of 9 Newton meters. But it only works on a PC and is not compatible with any consoles. I'll be setting this up on my sim cockpit from Track Racer. This is a TR120, and I'll be using this in conjunction with the Fanatec Club Sport shifter and handbrake, together with my 55-inch LG C1 OLED TV. And it'll be running off my gaming PC, which is from Alienware. We can start by attaching the R9 wheelbase. This can be attached via the screw holes underneath. The CM dash is then attached via 2 small screws to the wheelbase, and then the dash display is attached via the 2 turn knob screws. The RJ12 cable can then be connected to the wheelbase, together with a power cable and USB cable going to your PC. You can then attach the wheel, and that's just a matter of lining it up and pushing it into position. And then the quick release mechanism gives you a really fast way to switch wheels in literally a matter of seconds. Moving on to the pedals, there's 2 points underneath the mounting plate and a hole behind each pedal to allow you to mount onto a sim frame. The USB connection plugs into the side of the accelerator pedal and the other end plugs into your PC. And that's it, as simple as that to get connected. Coming over to my PC, I've already got the Moza Pithouse software installed, which you can download from their website, and this picks up all the Moza devices you have connected to your PC. So in this case, the wheelbase, wheel, CM dash and pedals. On the left you have the main page, and underneath you have your devices where you can go in and customize the settings. On the steering wheel page, you can make changes to the rotation of the wheel and change colors on the rev counter display. For the pedals, you can customize each of the pedals by adjusting the stroke on the accelerator, the brake and the clutch individually. And for the CM dashboard, you can change the brightness of the screen and the unit of measure for speed and temperature. There's also 7 different styles for the dashboard display. And this customization is also available via their mobile app, which is available on Android and Apple, allowing you to connect to the wheelbase via Bluetooth and giving you the same amount of customization, which is really impressive and so convenient. Let's jump into a race and test this out. The racing experience is really good with this combination of peripherals. Starting with the R9 wheelbase, it's very quiet as there's no internal fans, and even after playing for a couple of hours, the wheelbase doesn't feel warm, and there's no loss of performance or any worry of it overheating. The racing experience feels really smooth, refined, and gives a lot of detail from bumps, curbs, and the track itself. The torque levels at 9 Newton meters are controllable via the app. I've taken it to maximum and it feels very strong, and force feedback feels very accurate from the track as you're going around corners, so it feels very realistic. The CM Racing Dash is so cool, providing telemetry data as you're racing along, and is customizable via the Moza Pithouse app, allowing you to have the info displayed in different formats. The display quality is very good, with it accurately providing telemetry data. The positioning on the wheelbase is good too, and it's nice that you can adjust the height, allowing you to position it in the best position to easily see it. It's not essential to have, but definitely a great addition to get. Moving on to the wheel, which is 13 inches in diameter and feels perfect in terms of size, and even though it's the cheapest one they have available, it still feels incredible. The paddle shifters have an excellent feel to them. I really do like the clicky sound coming from them when you're shifting, giving a realistic feel when you're shifting up or down through the gears. With the wheel being slightly indented on either side and wrapped in microfiber leather, it has a very comfortable feel as you're racing with it. Positioning of the controls aren't bad either, with enough controls more than sufficient for the majority of racers out there. Now, if you're wondering the main differences between this wheel and the more expensive wheels, the more expensive ones have more controls, together with having illuminated buttons and some upgraded components with different designs and material options available. But the basics are all the same, as they all have the quick release mechanism and the light up rev counter. The pedals feel good and precise underfoot with not much flex on them. The clutch feels good with it being nice and smooth, giving a good feeling when using it. I've tested a clutch in conjunction with the Fanatec Club Sport shifter and it works perfectly. The brake pedal with the load cell works well and feels more precise, feeling solid and rigid, giving a realistic braking experience. The accelerator feels smooth and overall the experience is really good. So in summary, I'm really impressed with the latest additions to Moza's range, the CS steering wheel and the SRP pedals, built to an excellent standard, and if you add in the R9 wheelbase, you have a real alternative to the Fanatec CSL DD and DD Pro at a similar price point, with Moza coming in at $936 plus VAT. But with Moza's, you get more torque at 9 Newton meters, so both competing head on at the mid-range spectrum of the sim racing market. The CS steering wheel is really well made and has a great build quality, and with the 9 Newton meters of torque from the R9 wheelbase, this does feel really good. The pedals are solid and do feel good with the load cell sensor, giving a more realistic experience. I was really impressed with the CM Racing Dash providing telemetry data. Screen quality was excellent, together with the performance being very accurate. So a great product to get to add to your Moza Racing ecosystem. Negatives wise, due to the Moza wheelbases being so new to the market, some games don't automatically work, so there is some initial fiddling about to get the wheel to work, which can be annoying, and it's a shame Moza's wheelbases are limited to working just on a PC and not compatible with any consoles. But there is a company called Brook that's done a converter which allows you to use it with a console, and I'll be reviewing that pretty soon. Now, even with these being Moza's cheaper range, the build quality is outstanding, giving awesome performance when racing. So there you have it, you come to the end of another video, and I hope it's helped anyone thinking of purchasing these items. Details are in the description below, including purchasing links. And if you're still here, drop a Moza in the comments, as it's nice to see who's made it to the end of my videos. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to be notified of my next release. You can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and Twitter. Thanks for viewing, and see you in the next one.